Cheers.
Cheers. I'm not an alcoholic.
It takes her at least 3 days to get through.
I'm Kelsey, that's Tim, and this is our rolling home Dusty. We hit the road full-time a few years ago to follow our dreams of driving around the world, and we headed south.
We did it.
COVID brought us back to the States, but there is plenty of adventure to be had here while we wait out the pandemic. So come along and enjoy this crazy ride we call life. Welcome back. You join us somewhere between Valdez and Delta Junction. We had just finished a chilly hike over a frozen river, and we had a few days before we needed to be up in Delta Junction. And today just happened to be a beautiful, clear day. So we were just enjoying the scenery and the sun as we looked for a good camp spot for the night.
This was our lunch spot. Pretty nice view of the snowy mountains, and it's sunny right now. So we're sitting inside the truck with the heater on and the sunshine, and it's nice and warm. So just finished lunch, and we're gonna put up the road a little bit. Don't know where we're gonna end up. We don't have a lot of miles to cover today while we're waiting for the test. So hopefully find somewhere cool to camp tonight. But for now, at least it's warm. How deep is that snow there, Tim?
Just that deep. Just a little bit below knee. It's funny how it packs in though. I mean, look at this. This is 2 inches or something here.
As soon as you step off into where the bushes are, it gets real deep.
Yep. Start getting warm.
This snow is very, very slippery. It gets icy as soon as you compact it. It's so pretty outside though. Love it. Dang it.
Cheers.
Cheers. I'm not an alcoholic.
It takes her at least 3 days to get through. You know what's funny is this is a lot warmer than we've been, I'd say, in 5 days.
Yeah, which is so weird because there's so much snow on the ground. But
Since
the
that
sun,
sunny day we showed up to McCarthy, that day was beautiful and warm.
Yeah.
And then every day was progressively colder, culminating in this morning where it was brutal.
Yeah, that was, I think, the coldest.
Yeah, and where we were, there was no snow on the ground at all. So it didn't visually look as cold as this.
But all the streams and everything were freezing, which
Yeah.
is crazy.
Yep. Yeah, like rushing glacial stream out of the glacier we hiked to, and it was freezing over while moving, which is pretty wild,
Yeah.
because it wasn't a calm stream.
This is so cool.
Yeah, so we're like we're not far from Delta Junction.
No.
We're not too far from the highway. We did a harder little off-roading thing, but it is so slick. It's very wet snow.
Yeah. You
They
can just
were
like
just-
you walk in.
Yeah.
You know, so you step once, and then if you step in the same footprint again, it's like very slippery.
Yeah.
So this is perfect. We're not too far, but there's no one out here now. So.
No, and you can tell where people have been because of the tracks, right? So we just chose the road back there had no tracks. Then this road that is just behind you, the camera, had no tracks. And then this is like a third removed from use. So I
Yeah.
feel pretty good. We're right next to the military base. If you go 100 yards that way, you get to a fence and a sign that says, you know, no entry if active. So I think it's one you can go through if it's not active, kind of like Yuma and other places where if they're not using it for bombing runs or training, you can go on it. But we don't want to, you know, mess it up and accidentally go in the wrong area.
Yeah.
Because, what do you think, 2 miles this way? Not even maybe 2 miles.
Yeah. maybe a
There's
mile.
active training going on, and they have the red flag out, which means it's active. And so they had 2 sections, I think. A landing strip with a bunch of Blackhawks, and then a bunch of like winter training
Yeah, looked like that's what was going on.
Humvees and
Camp, like tents and stuff set up, and
yeah,
Yeah.
whatever the LMTVs are, the big like 6x6s for moving equipment and like radio trucks and all that.
it's always fun to see.
Yeah, it's super fun to see. But yeah, it's not bad. Very bright.
It is very bright.
Our solar's doing good work today for us, but we don't
Finally.
need it right now because we drove. But I noticed it was cranking out like 150 watts of our 250. So being as far north as we are, I think that's not too bad.
No.
Because that sun is not going to get any higher.
Yeah, you notice here people
Than
put the solar panels on like their houses, on the sides of their house, not on the roofs.
Yeah.
which
Like
is
almost
crazy.
like a 90 degree, not even like on the side of the house tilted up. They're like dead on the side facing
Yeah.
out. So pretty.
So nice.
Yeah.
The sun feels good.
It does. Crazy,
So much
right?
snow.
Alrighty, here we go. Oh wow, okay. I don't know, it's not quite a foot, but it's a good, whoop, however many inches. Amazing.
Still snowing?
Yeah, it's still snowing, just not dumping fast anymore. Got some nice icicles on the truck. Wow. Pretty cool.
It snowed a lot.
Woohoo! Yeah, fair amount, you know.
For us Southwesterners, it feels like a lot.
Well, because it's the second snow in as many days, I think we're over a foot now.
Yeah.
And it's pretty toasty. It's not that cold, actually.
Yeah. So
oddly enough.
we figured while Dusty is warming up back there, that we would first of all show you how beautiful it is in the snow here, and we wanted to say thank you guys for making us traveling possible.
Yeah, thanks to everyone who likes and subscribes, all those silly things that we say in the videos.
Yeah,
really does help.
It really does help us out.
And the people who use the Amazon links below in the description to go shopping, and especially the YouTube members and patrons. I think because we're not a massive channel that gets millions of views, the YouTube, it's not really...
It's not sustainable for a living, but...
No, it might be a tank of fuel a month or something. Yeah. But the YouTube members, patrons, and the people who do the Amazon shopping, those sort of things, people who buy us a taco, buy a t-shirt, whatever.
You guys make it happen.
Really helps, and it's going to keep the videos going because we don't want to stop. We want to be able to continue going around the world and seeing more things and sharing it with you.
Yeah.
So we just want to say thank you. We wanted to make sure that everyone knew how much we appreciate all the support and all the little things that you do.
Yeah.
And otherwise, thanks for coming along.
We're going to go enjoy the snow.
Yeah, we're going to go warm up in the truck. And I think we're going to go head into town, actually, and maybe like pay for a meal instead of making one.
Maybe some hot coffee.
That sounds pretty good. Although we already had hot coffee.
We had hot coffee, but paid for hot coffee.
But another hot coffee sounds pretty good. There's a big outbreak in Alaska right now.
Yep, COVID.
So to do the ArriveCan, which is the app you use to go into Canada right now as a foreigner for tourist purposes or whatever.
You have to fill out like a questionnaire and all that kind of stuff. So.
Yep, show signs of like photos of the vaccine and all that. And so we did all that, but we can't get a test. So it was like we either had to drive back to Anchorage, which is like 5 hours.
Yep.
4 or 5 hours, and then Fairbanks now where we're at would only be, I think, 2 hours there and 2 hours back, something like that. And
once you get the test, you have like 3 days basically
72
to get
hours,
to and
right?
cross the border.
Yeah. And so we found a place though here in Delta Junction.
We had to wait a few days to get in, and
They're
we
packed.
have to pay for it, unfortunately.
Yeah, so this one's $340, I think, by the time it's all said and done total.
$160 per person.
And then whatever the tax
like
is on that. So yeah, $320 to $3 something. But once we get it, we're probably just going to head straight for the Canada border. I don't want to mess around.
Yeah, especially because of the weather. It could be slow going. So we'll
highs in the 20s the next couple of days, and lows depends because we camp out in the woods, and so it's tough to know what the difference might be from the low in town. But teens, at least, if not negative. So and that's Fahrenheit. But so yeah, I think we've seen everything we can see. There's a lot more we want to see on the way south.
Yeah.
And it's a real long way.
Yeah.
I think when I looked it up to go to one of our favorite spots in Baja was like 4,300 and something miles. So it's a third of the Pan American essentially to get from here to Baja.
Yeah, so it's getting cold now. It's beautiful, and we're not really set up for being much colder than this. So
yeah, I mean the truck's fine, but I just have my approach shoes. We don't have our muck boots, which would be perfect in the snow.
But
yeah. But it's all right. We're getting out and still walking around and hiking. It's just when you get back to the truck, you crank the heater.
So we're hopefully getting a test later today. We're sitting in the parking lot of a library right now using
uploading
the
some
Wi-Fi.
videos. Yeah.
And then we're gonna head get a test and make some tracks towards the border.
Yep.
That's what we're up to. So hopefully the test goes well.
Fingers crossed.
3 hours later.
All right, we got our test results. They're negative, and now we're heading for the border.
Yeah.
Probably not make it today, but tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just because, why? But
Yeah, we'll see. But probably not. I think the cheapest fuel anywhere near us is in Tok. So we're gonna brim the auxiliary tank and everything else because fuel in Canada is much more expensive. And then I think we're good.
yeah, so glad it went well. Wasn't too painful or anything.
No, it was painful waiting 4 days just for a
Yeah.
quick swab test. But they've said they're all just super busy. And they're running out of supplies. It's kind of a tough time. I'm glad we got in for this. In fact, if we missed this, who knows how long it would take to find a place to get us a test. So.
Yep. Glad it's done.
Yep.
On the road again.
We worked our way towards the border. It was a very scenic drive in and out of the snow, with the occasional moose, although I didn't manage to catch any on film. It felt great to be headed towards warmer weather.
All right, we made it to camp for the night, and probably doesn't look familiar because it's all covered in snow, but this is our meth camp. We stayed here right after we crossed from Canada into Alaska, and it's a pretty good place close to the border, so we're gonna stay here again and head to the border in the morning. But there's no one here now because it's snowy and cold and still really pretty, and I'll show you what it looks like. But I think pretty soon I'm gonna crawl in the truck, make some dinner, be cozy and warm, and hopefully sleep.
Do you guys remember this campsite? We stayed here when we first entered mainland Alaska and met Carl, who was riding his bicycle south. It was beautiful and free, almost too good to be true, until we crawled into bed that night and one of the neighbors ran around, literally, all night, which put us on edge, hence the name Meth Camp. Luckily, we slept great this time around. And that's it for this episode. Join us as we make the final run for the Canadian border next week. And again, thank you all so much for watching and for your support. We would not be here without you. See you next week.
Yeah, I can't tell. It might be just a ditch. The way he like slowed down, and then I was like, there's something there. Rare ditch animal. A sign.
Oh, that's a mailbox
Sign animal.
It'll bite you.
Oh, there it is.
It means it's angry, so don't approach it with flags.
It's related to mooses. There it is.
Hello!
Hey guys. Thanks for watching that video and coming along on our adventure. We hope you enjoyed it. And if you did enjoy it, there's ways that you can help us to keep making these videos to share with you, and that is...
Like, subscribe! There's links to Amazon down in the subject to different products, and when you shop through there, we'll get a small cut, but it's the same price to you.
Yep.
I would say the two #1 ways to help us out are the folks who are buying a shirt or a hat or stickers.
Yep.
YouTube members, and #1 by far is Patreon.
Yep.
So thank you to everyone who supported us in your own way. And
we really appreciate everything you guys do. So thank you.
thanks.